This is not a video where I'm just trying to capitalize off the Knicks' recent struggles. We know they've been losing. They haven't had Josh Hart, but I think even with Josh, there are some just problems structurally with this team that I can see on the court that make me wonder about their actual contender status. Technically, I think there's a couple of teams in the East that could get out this year and probably wouldn't beat a West team in the finals, so that whole thing is up in the air anyways. But specifically for New York, as a team who we all came in and looked at as the squad that probably should take advantage of all the injuries, I'm still worried about them, and this is why. So we're just looking at Edgecombe's play for this because this is what bothered me most, and albeit this was without Josh Hart, look at the lineup still. You have Maxey out there, PG, Embiid, Edge, and Barlow. Normally you'd have Cat at center and Josh Hart at power forward. Even in that scenario, Josh Hart is definitely still going to be on the forward. You can't hide Jalen Brunson. Very obvious reasons he wouldn't be guarding Maxey. Edgecombe, for the moment, is pretty much the lesser of the evils. If he goes on either forward, I mean, PG can still some nights get a bucket, but you're still giving up cuts, rebounds, size. There's a million problems with that. And so I ask, if you are the New York Knicks, what are you to do about this? Combe goes right into him, gets his rebound, bucket. Literal same exact thing here. Got him off balance immediately, takes the bump, doesn't foul, and he's knowing early he can get what he wants when he wants. Look how it pressures your defense. Here we go. Maxey trying to draw Brunson. They didn't want that to happen. They put two to the ball, so now we're late to a closeout. And even if Bridges slides up here, you've got a shooter parked in the corner. It bends the defense. It's just one of the issues you have when your best player is barely 6 feet. I'm sorry. This is what happens. Here's another issue they're going to face. So he's had a couple of buckets on McBride, who is also low-key a mismatch on a lot of these guards. And in accordance here, they're just going to try to screen Bridges off of Edgecombe. And in these lineups where you're not running Mitchell Robinson, it's Cat in space, which is not good. No bueno. So you'll see here, rescreen, got him. Cat is in drop and bucket. So either way, whether he's attacking McBride, Brunson, or the big in drop, because Mitch, I would say the best way to take advantage of him is also in space, but it's especially bad when it's Cat because you don't even get the rim protection when you go downhill. Wow, case in point, this is exactly what I just said. So you're going to see him get back cut here, and look, it's Cat at the rim. When that's Mitch, it deters the shot. Sometimes it gets blocks. When it's Cat, which it kind of needs to be for offensive purposes, even though that's getting kind of weird lately, yeah, this is kind of the result. We just went over the McBride point. As you see here, that's McBride and Clarkson involved in the action. Bucket. That's just a good shot though too. Okay, so read the Josh Hart point earlier. Here is the regular starting lineup. And like I was saying, Bridges from Maxey, Hart, Barlow, whoever this forward is going to be, Oubre, especially the way Hart rebounds. Not that you would hide Brunson on a big forward like I was saying, but just to show you that they wouldn't. And there he is, already chasing around Edgecombe. And for this play, just read the Karl Towns point. You see the screen got him wide open. They don't have rim protection when Mitch is not there. The problem is when you do play Mitch, without him rolling and you tossing him a lob, he's kind of useless to you on offense. Same thing here. Went right at Cat. Defense sinks, rotates, is completely out of position. Floater for Maxey. All right, so let's get a look now at Knicks Pistons. So we are going with OG Anunoby on Cade. Obviously, they have the option to switch Bridges. You see they're already trying to bring Brunson towards him. And this is what we're doing. We are going at Jalen Brunson immediately. And I tell you, was it Sue Bird who said it? If it was her who said it, or whoever said it, when she was saying you can't win with a player as small as Brunson, basically is what she was saying. A championship she's talking about. This is why. It's just the same thing that kind of happens to the Hawks with Trae Young. This is who we're going at. You have size everywhere else on the floor. You can't afford to have a big that you can also put in space. But we are attacking him. We're either going to bring him to the ball or we are going to use whatever taller player he has on him or that he's assigned to and make him run, make him work. And now he's already picked up a foul, so this is kind of what I was talking about with Philly. Where do you put him against Philly? It's a little bit better with the Pistons, as Duncan is mostly a shooter, although a couple of years ago he did start putting the ball on the floor. And so you see New York obviously playing with double bigs in lieu of Josh Hart being out. Mitchell Robinson in space, wide open three for the stretch big. As I was talking here, I wasn't even paying attention to Paul Reed getting this rebound. We're going to take Cat out. Bigs on the same side of the floor. Cade draws Cat. Bridges caught in the middle and floater. And again, this goes to the Cat point because you don't want this switch. Anunoby remains in pursuit. Paul is already diving. Low key could have been a lob if Thompson was ready for it. Instead, just soft little touch. Once again, we're doing the same thing, and they almost got a second foul on Brunson right there, who could have got popped for holding. But look, they want him in this action. They brought Cat up, although that was good denial. And see, this can't be happening. You can't be New York and playing double big and still getting just outdone on the boards. And look, nobody boxes out. Paul hustles for that. That's just that's straight up the cliche want it more type conversation. And now he cuts and scores. All right, who are we bringing to Cade? Both the bigs. You see Paul, that was a good roll. See, this is crazy. Even though, oh, and that ends in a foul, right? Check this out. Like I said, the Knicks' biggest disadvantage is when their bigs are having to guard these and they're in space. They have to move their feet. So you have Paul just go ahead and slip this, which is beautiful. And it's such good design because that's a non-shooter in the corner in Thompson. But with both bigs caught off guard, Bridges doesn't have a choice but to engage here. Knicks defense is confused. Paul is on the back line. And Thompson has already started his cut. And that's an athletic guy. You got to foul. Same reason you can't just have Brunson on forwards that have size and are fast and can cut. I'm telling you that's going to be an issue in the playoffs. This is reason number 100 I still worry about the Knicks. Brunson is going to score in this possession, but this is a look you're going to see in the playoffs. Pistons in zone, not trusting almost any shooter enough out there to not be in zone. And a lot of the times it will come down to Brunson, go create something. And that's cool and that can get you kind of far. And I know that they're better this year. I know they have better play design, but a lot of their offense and a lot of how they win games will still come down to that. It'll still come down to Brunson being an MVP offensive player. And while this results in a miss, same thing. So we're now involving McBride instead of Brunson. They have Brunson on Thompson. Don't want him to pick up a second foul. They've kind of gotten forced into that. And so you've got a great shooter about to get wide open. That's going to force Anunoby to engage. And now look, roll. He could have finished this. That was tough. The Pistons still like the look they got there. And Cade is just so damn good, bro. I know I saw he had a bad shooting night against the Cavs in a game they won. And they said he has such good PR. Cade is just like that, brother. I'm trying to tell you. Watch some Pistons ball. And again, just read the point we kind of went at with Brunson. This is kind of the only way they scored this quarter. I think he has damn near all their points. Almost. This is going to be the second time Detroit just doesn't capitalize, but they get something they want. So, beautiful. Brunson trying to deny the flare. Cat is already out of the paint, as if that really matters. Boom. Wide open cut. And that right there, he just caught it low. Couldn't finish, but the concept is there, right? When you involve Brunson, good things will happen for you. Yeah, New York just has a Cunningham problem. It goes back to the first round of the playoffs, but they just don't have anyone who can guard him. With size on the wing, it just does not matter. They don't have a perimeter player that can guard him. And unless Mitch is there, they don't really have anybody in the paint. So who does Detroit respect? Nobody. Yeah, we basically put 2 on the ball here. 8 had already dropped. And Thompson barely came disconnected from Brunson. And so I think he's got 10 of the 16 points this quarter. It's all him. A lot of the times it just still feels like all Brunson, even though I know they've done different things. I know they've run different plays. They've run different lineups. Mike Brown gives more of a chance to the rest of the team than maybe Thibodeau did. But their second best player should be Cat, and he's not featured like a second best player, i.e. them trying some things. So you've got a PNR here, and then Clarkson screens for the screener. Probably designed to have a lob from Mitch, but McBride goes for it, and that screen didn't move Beef Stew. So now we're trying McCullough on Cade. Mitch is in space. We just opened up a 3 that Ivy did not take, so he's gonna opt to go create on his own. And hey, whatever, that worked. But they also created an open shot off of what? Putting Mitch in space, baby. Ivy had actually cut too early here. But again, the bigger point, it's just not hard to put this team into rotation. New York having a Cade problem. Here goes player number 3 to try to card Cade today, and Bink skates. Okay, this play is hilarious. So this is where I agreed with 2K when I did my segment, was basically just going, all right, so you don't have Durin, a lot of roll gravity. Harris's 3-point percentage has gone down, but that's still one of your better shooters on this Pistons roster. He gets replaced with somebody the defense doesn't trust as much. You get this type of setup. Now we're going to go ahead and flat out blitz before anything happens. So Cade finds his shooter. Shooter gets it back. And now we get our proper screen. Mitch in space. There's no contest there. Buckets. The Knicks have a Cade problem. But you can see why anyone would have thought Detroit was going to have issues in this game. There's always one or two guys for Detroit that will probably be treated like this when they're this unhealthy. And yeah, in this game, they found a way to make it work. Cade is up to 33% from 3, I believe. And although teams in the playoffs will probably prefer he shoot than drive, he gonna get them things up. This has been my question with New York all year. I have seen improvement for them, but there is still so much Brunson ball like this. And against a good defensive team like Detroit in the playoffs, how much of your offense can this be for, and y'all still end up successful? Even with no Cade on the floor, they are still able to exploit the same things. You see, we have now ran Ivy off a screen, which had Brunson momentarily on Paul Reed. So even though they switched that off ball, Mitch in space, baby. Come get this bucket. Last time I looked, Ivy, I believe he's around 40% from 3. You know who we about to put in space, right? Hand off to Ivy. I'm assuming it's going to be a rescreen. Yep. Oh, so it was mistimed, but they had the right idea. Handoff to Ivy into the Reed screen, and they thought they survived it, but Reed immediately goes and screens for Bridges, and oh, they got a shot out of that. But Dan is trying to be unselfish, wants to hit the roller, and did it a little too late. But the concept, they got options. It's not hard to get options against New York. Okay, so I actually was going to stop this video at the Detroit section, but then New York caught an L to Phoenix last night, so wanted to go in and see if we could find anything that kind of further drives the point home. And so we're gonna actually start here tied with 3 minutes left. Book engaging Cat. At that time, they blew up that action. Royce O'Neal has Brunson on him. They're doing everything they can to get him to have to guard Book, which then makes the defense rotate, and they got the shot they wanted. And now, broken play. Oh, Book threw that straight to McBride. But you see, even that look was created by forcing everything you could. Bring Cat out of the paint. Try to get Brunson switched onto you. Brunson tries to draw a foul there. It doesn't work. And so we're in transition. Mitch is guarding ball. Knicks defense already not in a great spot here. They have decided to stash Brunson on O'Neal. Don't want to have him on Brooks or Booker for obvious reasons. Probably don't want Mitch on Booker either. Mitch in space, baby. It wasn't even bad defense, but that's just what teams have consistently looked for, as you've seen in this video. Book's got 31 and 7. How do we create late game for the Knicks? And it doesn't just depend on Brunson. McBride bobbling it everywhere. So now 5 seconds left. Brunson, please save us. And he can't. And so that possession just went absolutely nowhere. All right, same thing. Brunson or Cat. Mitchell Robinson dash in the corner with Brooks. We have brought Cat to us. Brunson trying the double. And see, that's just the thing, man. For the Knicks to be successful, Brunson and Cat, two of the most important players on the offense, are also who teams look to engage on defense all the time. And it never fails. So you can't let Book go one-on-one with Cat. So now Brunson has to do that. McBride has to split the difference. Good fake there by O'Neal. Gets a 3. The Suns are up 5 with a minute left. We've already seen one offensive possession that just went absolutely nowhere for New York. We go to McBride, who's had a decent game. And the clock is stalling again. Just like last possession. Good switch by Book. And McBride just creates a really, really tough bucket. It's fine. At this point, you just need anything. 45 seconds. We bring in Brunson, and we're bringing Cat. All right, Anunoby's able to stay with the first action. Now Cat is on Booker. Brunson has tried to help and tripped. I'm sorry, I'm just of the belief you cannot win a championship when 2 of your best players are targets. I just don't think 2 of your best players can be this much of a target on defense, with Cat pulling him out of the paint, knowing he's going to be in drop, getting him to play in space, and then Brunson just being small and being attackable. I don't think your 2 best players can be that much of a target and you can win a championship. I don't think so. I don't know. Not to mention your best defensive option is Mitchell Robinson for a big. Iguodaro gonna miss both free throws, so smart foul there. Anunoby gets a rebound. And your New York, you need 3. Brooks on ball. Gonna try to engage Iguodaro, who again is mobile. Not many can stay with Brunson in general, but Nothing happening again. We've watched probably 3 Knicks possessions. And then this is Grayson, who people were in my mention saying that Grayson stepped out. Let's see the replay. Grayson pokes it. Bridges is out. Ball hits him while he's out. Because Grayson is not out here and Mikhail is. Not that I can tell. And boom. Now it's out on Bridges. But once again, we just watched 2 or 3 Knicks possessions that just didn't go anywhere. And once again, I will say, Cat, he keeps talking about being confused. And every Knicks game I watch, sometimes he gets on a roll. Sometimes there's a one-on-one defender that can't handle him and he does his thing. But he is just not used like you would imagine Cat would be. All right, so through those few games, you saw that those are my New York Knicks concerns. Their 2 best players are extreme targets for defenses. This doesn't really have an easy fix. And then on offense, even though I know they're using different lineups, like I said in the video, they're doing different things. It still kind of comes down to Brunson, save us. And when he can't, they are at a significant disadvantage right now. But let me know what you think about New York and their contender status. Will they get out of the East? Anything you thought about the video, leave it in the comment section. And also hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed, while hitting the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.